retro food fans. Today we're going all the way back to 1938 to discover a very special recipe from a very special book. You're gonna love it. Let's get started. Hey everyone, I'm Jill and this is Yester Kitchen. Part food history, part cooking, all delicious. So today I have a little show and tell. Ever since I started my channel, I've been getting vintage cookbooks gifted to me from friends, from fans, from family. It's amazing and I am so grateful and so happy, and they just keep coming and I absolutely love it. So who remembers this book? Of course you do. Better Homes and Gardens Cookbook. This is from 1968. Now, who knows this book? It's the same Better Homes and Gardens, but this is the 1962 edition. So now I'm going to cut to the chase and why I'm showing you these books. And if you don't know these books, they are jam-packed with absolutely everything you will ever need to know about cooking. They're fabulous, they're gold mines, and hopefully you all have a version or two. So I was at a party a few months ago, and I was talking to my friend Bill. There's Bill. He's actually one of my almost famous friends. He's a voice actor and a very good one. And if you play video games, you've probably heard his voice. But he does a lot of other things too. Anyway, I was talking to Bill and he said he had a special gift for me. And he gave me, the pages are coming out, this. Let me give you a close-up. This is the 1938 version of Better Homes and Gardens. This is actually the 5th edition. They started in 1930, and this is, I was so excited to receive this book. So this was Bill's grandmother's book, and he wanted to pass it down to me. Bill, thank you so much. You know I love this book because I've thanked you a million times, and today I'm doing a fabulous recipe out of it. I was really inspired to do this. When I was going through it, I came across a recipe for chicken pie. And all of a sudden, I had a childhood memory. I went back to when my dad passed about 10 years ago, and I'm missing like crazy. So Daddy, this one's for you too. So he lived in Anaheim, and when I would go visit him, he used to take me to a place called La Palma Chicken Pie Shop. Take a look. It was opened in 1955. It's so retro. The chicken pies are classic. They're not exactly the kind we're gonna make today, but the whole thought of just chicken and gravy and nothing else was amazing. And as you can see, they poured all the gravy right on top of the pie. I mean, this place is awesome. Sadly, it closed in 2015 because the owner passed away, but it was legendary. So we are gonna make a fabulous version of a chicken pie, which is super easy and you're gonna love. Now, the first thing we're gonna do is, since this recipe, this is 1938, this was so old school, everybody made everything from scratch. We're gonna cut a few corners. So the very top of your pie, you're gonna decorate with puff pastry, just plain old puff pastry. In the book, it tells you how to make it. That would take me 3 videos to show you. So I'm just gonna cut to the chase. And I went ahead and got pre-made puff pastry dough. Now actually, I messed up and I bought the puff pastry shells, which actually turned out to be a very, very happy mistake. Because normally what you do is you take the puff pastry, you would cut it in any shape you want, bake it according to the package directions, and then put it aside, and that's what you're gonna put on top of your chicken filling. But since they were already shells, it worked out so perfectly. I was able to just deconstruct the shells after I baked them, so now I have all kinds of fun shapes to put on my pie. So I suggest, I mean, you can get puff pastry and cut your own shapes, but the shells turned out to be pretty awesome. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is we need 4 cups of cooked and chopped chicken. I took a shortcut, I went to the market, I bought a roasted chicken, I cut it up. It's that easy. You feel free to roast your own or just cook breast or just cook dark meat. Really, it's whatever you like. You just need 4 cups of it. So here I have in my happy little bowl, 4 cups of chopped chicken, and I have actually, this pan came from my dad. So it's extra special today. So you wanna take your casserole dish and you can serve right in it, so make sure it's something you like. Definitely grease it. And then in goes our 4 cups of cooked chicken. And it's just gonna kind of hang out here while we make our sauce. Just kind of spread it all over. Make sure it's all separated. Look, that one's not separated. Now it is. And look at that, it's perfect. As long as you have like a quart size casserole, quart and a half is fine, you'll be fine. Okay, now we're gonna get this out of the way and just let it hang out for a few. It's not bothering anyone. And we're gonna bring in a pot. I like a large pot because you just never know how much room you're gonna need, so you might as well go big or go home. And to that, you're gonna add 1/4 cup of butter and let it start melting. And while our butter is melting, the original recipe calls for either chicken fat or some form of fat. So I don't have chicken fat. If you have access to chicken fat, you should give it a try because it'll just amp up the chicken flavor and it's really quite wonderful. But if you don't, as I'm doing, butter is fine, oil is fine. What you're doing is you're making a roux, which is pretty much a fat blended with flour, and we're using it to thicken our gravy. So to our melted butter, we go 6 tablespoons. You want to kind of whisk as you go of flour. And get that all in there. Gotta grab the handle. And it's gonna start to all bunch up together, and that's exactly what you want. And you want to cook it for just a few minutes, just like this, because you want to get that raw flour taste out. Okay, and after a couple minutes, you have 2 cups of chicken broth, chicken stock. I'm using chicken stock. It just has more of a pronounced flavor, but you can use whatever you like. And you want to whisk that in so all the flour starts to incorporate. And then we're just going to go ahead and whisk this. And you want to use a whisk because it breaks up the flour and helps it get into the broth a little bit. So you want to do that. Oh, I forgot. And we're going to add a teaspoon of salt and a 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. And now we're going to whisk this for a few minutes until it starts getting thick. Okay, so it took about 3-4 minutes for my sauce to start thickening up. Take a look. This is what you want. Just a nice, thick, creamy sauce. And we're gonna turn off our heat. And I already have an oven turned on to 350. So now we're just gonna push this out of the way and bring back our chicken. Hello, chicken. See, I told you this recipe is crazy easy. So now what you're gonna do, you're gonna take all of your gravy and you're just gonna pour it over your chicken. Just like this. And I'm telling you guys, this is just ridiculous good. And just kind of spread it around so everything goes everywhere. Now all that's left is for you to stick it in the oven for about 20 minutes so it can get heated through. But make sure that all of your puff pastry, however you choose to use it, is ready to go. Because all you're really gonna do is put this on top as decoration and it's gonna be done. See? Crazy easy. I know, right? Thank you, 1938. All right, we'll be back when it's done. So it's been about 20 minutes. Take a look. It is just the definition of perfection and simplicity. Literally, you have cream chicken gravy and chicken, and that's it. And the gravy is easy and delicious. So all that's left to do is decorate. So remember our little shells? So just kind of, I don't know, do whatever makes your heart sing. Do that, we're gonna do that, we're gonna do that. I don't even think I'm gonna use the bottoms because I'm out of room. And I just kind of like it like that. So there you have it. Oh, by the way, I know what you're gonna ask. Is the recipe in here? Is the recipe in here? Yes and no. Yes, there is a chicken pie recipe in both of these books and it is the same recipe. But by the time it got to these books, it had a bottom crust, a top crust, and added vegetables. This is just your purest, and it's fabulous. And if any of you out there know about the La Palma Chicken Pie Shop, I would love to hear from you. It was pretty amazing. So I've got a very special plate today, and we are definitely going to serve some up right now. It's just, it just doesn't get any better. It's just perfection on a plate. Now for dinner tonight, this is what's for dinner tonight. But for hubby, I'm gonna go a little current day on us, and I'm gonna take the vegetables that would have been in the pot pie, the cut up carrots and peas and green beans, and I'm gonna just sear them in a pan so they get kind of a little charred and put them on the side. Because, you gotta have some vegetables. But just don't mess with this recipe. It's so good. And another thing, when you serve it, the kids will love it because you've got all these cute little shapes going on and it just makes you smile. And I know it would make my daddy smile. My dad was a foodie. He was ahead of his time, and that man can cook. Gee, I wonder where I got my passion from. So Bill, thank you again. I love this book and it is just such a treasure. And I really appreciate it and I really appreciate you. If you would like to explore more dishes from your childhood or just the past, I invite you to subscribe. I release new videos every Friday. In the meantime, here's some more retro dishes for you. And remember, every dish, even chicken pie from 1938, has a story. I'll see you in the next video.